Domestic violence remains a big problem in America, and black women are among the leading victims. According to the Women of Color Network, 29% of black women are raped, assaulted, or stalked by an intimate partner. Black females experience intimate partner violence at 2.5 times the rate of women of other races, and black females are less likely than white women to use social services, battered women's programs, or seek hospital assistance. A new voice is being added to the anti-domestic violence efforts. Sheree Whitfield is best known as one of the stars of Real Housewives of Atlanta. She is now the ambassador for the National Coalition Against Domestic Violence and joins us in studio. Also joining us is the spokesman for the National Coalition Against Domestic Violence, Trevor Julian. On our panel, Barbara Arnwine and Amber Jane Phillips are still with us. But Sheree, I want to talk to you about this. What got you interested in this topic?
Well, I'm not sure if you watch the show, but...
I do, here and there, not often.
Okay. Well, last season, I've been dealing with some deep, dark secrets. So last season on the show, a lot of that was revealed, and it brought me here.
Okay.
I, was able to address, my fears that I, kind of buried for over 10 years regarding domestic violence, but it came out on the show, so.
Okay, well, for those of us who didn't see, can you just share a little bit? Do you feel comfortable? I mean, one of the things I have found about domestic violence is that, particularly in the African American community, with women that I have spoke with, there is a belief in the African American community, not 100%, but what I have seen in talking to other women is that what others call domestic violence, we don't want to refer to it as domestic violence because we don't believe that it happens to us, or we believe that it is something that afflicts low-income women, that there is shame to it, and then also there is just the fear that comes with addressing the fact that you are in a relationship that could cause you physical harm or to even lose your life.
Yeah, I agree. And a lot of times we're embarrassed. We're embarrassed and we don't want to talk about it, so we kind of bury it. What happened to me is it was some physical, but it was more mental. It's not always physical.
Yeah, and people forget that verbal abuse is just as bad as physical violence.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah. Trevor, how about you?
Well, I am here as a spokesman for the National Coalition Against Domestic Violence, and I applaud Sheree's bravery. The NCADV, we are excited to have her to help inspire women. As she just said to you, this was a deep, dark secret. And in the African American community, for some reason, we keep things hidden. We're ashamed, we're afraid. But Sheree on cameras came full frontal with a deep, dark secret that had been a nightmare. And by confronting this on camera, she has inspired so many millions of women. And we look forward to having her with the coalition to help inspire, to help advocate public policy, to raise awareness, to help raise funding for programs that help to educate people so that we could work together to eradicate domestic violence from society once and for all.
So how do we eradicate it? When you look at the figures, particularly in the African American community, they're staggering. I mean, black women are murdered.
Yes.
Second leading cause of death for women for black women between the ages of 15 and 35 is intimate partner violence.
Yes.
And it's something folks just don't want to talk about.
Yes, and the statistics, at least from what I've read, show that typically for a black woman or any woman who is murdered as a result of intimate partner violence, there is something that happens at least a month before. And I've read that people believe that if they had intervened the month before, that maybe we would have saved someone's life. But one of the things I question is, for example, do restraining orders work? And what is it that we do as a community to get black women to seek the help that they need?
Well, NCADV, our mission is that we are the voice and the support system of victims and survivors of domestic violence. For our African American community specifically, it is important to foster conversation. Take Sheree, for example. Sheree, for a very long time, not even her closest friends, not even her mother, Thelma, her children, no one knew that she was imprisoned. And the cameras, they caught this. and the world saw it, and she dealt with that deep, dark secret and those experiences in front of the cameras, which helped foster conversation with her children, her mother. She started talking to her inside circle of people who she had hid this from for so long. So it starts with conversation, trust, getting rid of the shame and getting rid of the fear, so that, you know, we can help eradicate this. I call it a public health crisis.
Yes.
It is indeed that. It's a public health crisis.
An epidemic.
Yes, it's an epidemic.
Sheree, what advice would you give to other women about how to leave a relationship where they are suffering intimate partner abuse?
I would say well, I'm not an expert, but I would say, first of all, you have to know your worth. A lot of times we stay because we don't know our worth or we don't believe in ourselves. I would also say that you have to talk to someone. You have to, you know, reach out and kind of, you can't be afraid. You can't be afraid to talk to someone and let them know what's going on.
What gave you the strength?
Oh my gosh.
What would you say that you drew on that gave you the strength to be here today?
Okay, well, it was something that kind of was thrown at me on camera. So I had to react. I had to talk about it. It was something that I never would have talked about. I've held it in for 10 years, over 10 years. And, you know, we talked about African American women, we don't want to share, you know, a lot of our deep, dark secrets or our fears. And that was something that I kind of hid from my kids and my family and my friends. But I was confronted with it in front of a camera, in front of the world, so I had to deal with it. And honestly, dealing with it has put me in a better place. Like, I feel like a weight is lifted off my shoulders. I feel like I am, you know, I'm just being able to inspire other women, because after the episode aired and it continued to air and air, I would meet so many different women in the post office or, you know, at the grocery store, and they come up to me and say, oh my gosh, I saw the episode, I just want to hug you, or I'm going through the same thing. And I get so much of that on social media, and, you know, people sending me, and not knowing that just me talking about that would inspire women like that. And
So you are here for an event.
I am.
Can you tell us about us? I want to show your book. You've got a book out, Wives, Finances, and Side Chicks
Fiancés.
Side chicks.
Wives, fiancés, and
Side chicks of Hotlanta.
Atlanta.
So tell us about the event you're here for.
I am here for a book signing. So we do these, it's cupcakes and champagne. So it's like a meet and greet, kind of book signing where, you know, my fans and people who want to, you know a little more about the show, they come in, they get a book.
I will never miss an opportunity to have a glass of champagne.
There you go.
Yeah.
With Sheree of all people. It's just a great thing. I would love to. And I also just wanted to say thank you for addressing a moment where you were being shamed to speak your truth. I think so many the thing that we also need to remember is that we have nothing to be ashamed of. The people doing the abuse have everything to be ashamed of. I am someone who has experienced it in my family. I've watched my women in my family go through what you are detailing, and I wish that we just would be more transparent about they are the problem, not us.
Right.
Yes.
Well, and I just want to thank you. I mean, because this is hard, and you are wonderful. You're a hero for doing this. We need you, and we need your voice. Thank you for opening up this door for so many other women. I also want to say our men are doing the violence.
Right.
95% of all the violence perpetrated in domestic violence is done by men. So there is a message here for men to start raising our sons, for women to raise our sons and our daughters to have a whole different understanding about domestic violence. Because if we don't stop it, where does it ever stop?
I agree with you. Thank you. We're out of time, Sheree. Thank you.
Thank you.
None of us can speak more highly enough of everything that you're doing on this topic.
Yes,
Thank you
you are
so much.
awesome.
You're very brave.
Thank you.
Weekdays on TV One.
I will never lie to you.
Oh my God.
Roland Martin.
He doesn't want to talk to us. He wants to ignore us.
Uncensored.
Hell no. That ain't gonna cut it, boo.
Unapologetic.
No, that is fundamentally false. You are wrong. He
Unfiltered.
wants an America where we all look alike. He ain't talking about black people.
Unrelenting.
You better go work out. because you got a fight on your hands.
NewsOne Now with Roland Martin. Weekdays at 7 a.m. on TV1.